Yeah, so I am live. So in this video, I'm going to teach you one of the most simplistic, and I think so it's very useful for especially aspiring coders who keep on like coding regularly. So, so the requirement for this particular video is that every time we are trying to code, we usually open with a new window or a new file, right? So let's say currently I'm coding some questions of lead code. So every time whenever I do different types of question, I'll be creating new files with this. Now usually when I code with C++, there are some basic formats include files that I have to add inside the files. For example, this hash include of the standard library file, or the namespace, or the particular format of using int main and then the return type. So these are some basic things that every time whenever I have to create a file, I'll have to do, which just takes not much of the time, but yeah, it takes time if you are coding for, I don't know, about 12 15 to 20 codes in a day. So to overcome that issue, what we are going to do is, let's say we have, I'll take this example, let's say we have some particular question that we want to solve. So we'll be creating a file called this hash include. We'll be creating a file with a particular name that we want to set. Now these all things are common for all the files. So instead of typing this manually, we'll be writing a bash script which will create a file and do all those things automatically. So let me show you how this works. So currently you can see inside this tree directory I have 1 2 3 4 5 5. So let's say I'm going to create a new file inside this tree binary directory. Okay, by the way, this terminal might not be same for you because this is not bash and it is a ZSH shell. But every process for bash as well as ZSH will be same, no issues there. Okay, so yeah, so let's say we want to create a file called test.cpp. Okay, so we have a shortcut that I have created, which is create cpp. In this we'll just pass the file name whichever we want to create. So let's say we want test.cpp want to create. Okay, and that's it. We can see here we have a test.cpp which has this hash includes automatically added and the main file include. Now this is very small bash script. I think so many of us would be able to write it by ourselves. Still, I'll show you what is the code of the bash script, as well as I'll also show what we need to do in order to make this as a command terminal, so that we can use this command from any time. You can see here I don't have this script create as cpp.sh. If you want it not to be in a terminal or a command directory to accessible throughout any of the directories in terminal, you can manually keep pasting this particular script as a shortcut and then just execute the shortcut basically. So but in that case where it will be much difficult, because as you move on to the directories, we would create files in not just one directory place, right? So you'll have to move that particular bash script everywhere and copying or moving, and it might get a little tedious. So first of all, I'll show you what is the bash script. So I've already done this, so I'll directly show you where I've pasted it. Sorry, see this we have create cpp. Yeah, so this is our create cpp file. So I'll explain you, it's very simple. So we are initializing the file and then we are checking if there is a parameter passed or not. If not, then we are going to prompt a user to say that the use case of this particular scenario is to have a file name. Okay, that's it. Second is we'll have a variable file name, which will be the file name that we are going to pass along with the command. Third thing is what we are going to initialize. Now code.cpp, because this is a very small file, in case of Java or some other files in which we have like a lot of things to add inside this terminal file or the basic outlay of the file, instead of using this variable as a complete string to pass it to the file name, you can actually create a sample .cpp or some file and then append the particular contents of all the file to the created new file. That is also doable, but because in cpp we have only like 3 or 4 lines, so that's not needed here. So what we are doing is hash include bits cpp.hash using namespace std and then slash n means usually the next line. I think so you might know slash n int this and tab terminal t. So this is a basic syntax. Echo will be saying that we have created a cpp code, whatever we have file is created with a default. Now once you have created this file, let's say we have created this file in some directory, might be in home directory. The only thing that you need to do is move this directory to slash bin. Okay, so currently as you can see in my last, okay, this is my home directory and this was my last directory. Inside this bin directory you can use so let's say we have file over in our home directory. You should use sudo mv this. You can either use it in copy local bin cpp or you can directly paste it in bin, that's fine too. I would suggest to use bin because I'm not sure, sometimes in some machines the local bin works and sometimes it doesn't work, but after you move it, make sure you do source. So currently I'm using zsh and by default we also have bash, which I can switch to at any moment of time. Okay, not over here I guess. Okay, not over here, but in normal terminals I think so I can switch. Okay, understood. So my bash script itself has zsh calling, so it will not be able to execute in bash script. Okay, that's not an issue, but generally you can do anything. So currently because I have both of these shells, so zsh and bash both I had to source, but in case of normal means when you have only bash, just do source bash rc. Once this is done, you are good to go. You can run this script, create.cpp or whatever file name you have given at any point of time. Just make sure 2-3 things. One is when you create a file, let's say we have created cpp.sh and you will write this particular code. Once you write that code, you have to make it executable, which is chmod plus x, which means executable in this particular asset, so that the file is directly executed and we don't have to do this dot slash thing, right? We can directly do create.cpp. So that's it. This is a very small video. This is just something that I did a long time ago and I found it very useful. So because I try to code many days and many files I have to create, this just takes a lot of time. It's better, anyhow we are going to use a terminal, so it's just better to use a command that would do all this garbage stuff, and instead like we can just press whatever usually it's a lead code question, so lead code question we can just press what is the question and that's it. We have a cool reference. Anytime we want to check what was the question, we can directly refer it to. So that's it. Thank you guys.